If I have my way, there will be a law that will ban people from moving from one party to the other without leaving their seat.
As Nigeria celebrates 26 years of uninterrupted democracy and 2 years of the Tinubu-led government's democratic rule, the citizens have embraced the day with mixed feelings. Speaking with popular political analyst Jide Ojo on the democratic journey of Nigeria and the dividends of democracy, he said the Tinubu-led administration has delivered on infrastructural development, but on the main tenets of democracy, the people and Nigeria as a whole is still lagging.
We may not be where we ought to be, but we are not where we used to be. If you talk about brick and mortar being infrastructural development, there have been something to show. Today we talk about Second Niger Bridge, we talk about Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway under construction. We talk about several other road infrastructure. Look at the one that is being commissioned by President in Abuja, across. I mean, if you were in Abuja 5 years ago and you come to Abuja now, you will not be able to drive yourself around without missing your way unless you are using Google Maps, because things have changed. But when you come to the brass tacks, in terms of real development, in terms of improvement in the standard of living of citizens, that is yet to happen. That improvement in the standard of living of citizens is yet to happen. What we have is cost of living crisis. So you talk about 2 years ago under Muhammadu Buhari, what was the exchange rate? The exchange rate was about 400, 600 naira to $1. Today we are talking of 1,600 naira to $1. Look at PMS. A liter of PMS under Buhari was less than 200 naira. But today, that same PMS, the last time I bought, was 900 naira. And that's even now that the price has come down. At some point, it was over 1,000 naira per liter. So look at inflation. Inflation under Buhari was barely 15, 17%. Today, we are talking of 23, 24% inflation. So when you look at these development indices, we are not making progress in terms of quality of living, standard of living of citizens. No, we haven't. We are retrogressing. In fact, more people are coming down the poverty line. More people are dropping below poverty line. And in terms of security, we are severely challenged than before.
We've seen infrastructural development, to some extent, but we are not yet there. We are still working, towards attaining that full democratic culture. So I will say that democracy in Nigeria is still evolving. It's still inchoate, it's still evolving, and we're hoping that if we imbibe the right democratic culture, we'll get there.
One of the many concerns that have been raised is the seeming plot to turn Nigeria into a one-party state, which is against the tenets of democracy. Human rights lawyer and activist Kingdom Okere, alongside Chris Ibeaji, has said it is impossible to have a one-party system in a country such as Nigeria.
Perception can be right. People are perceiving it. We can hear stories of cohesion, whereby people are made or possibly asked to move into APC. Some of them I remember one governor saying that he wants to guarantee his second term in office. Second term in office must not be over and above democratic principles and what is right for the nation. If Nigeria has a one-party state where there are no other checks and balances, it will lead to a totalitarian regime, and we will be the ones to suffer it. No democracy can thrive well. China is not a democracy. When somebody made allusion to China, it's not a democracy. So what they practice is totally different. So if we don't want to practice democracy, let us say that we don't want democracy, and then we know ab initio that this is where we are. But if you say we are going to practice democracy, then you cannot be talking about a one-party state.
The real opposition now is between Tinubu, hunger, suffering, starvation, and the Nigerian masses. The opposition now, the real opposition against the Tinubu government is the Nigerian masses. That's how it's going to be.
Nigeria is a de facto one-party state. What it means is that we are already a de jure, a de facto one-party state. That means we are already a dominant one-party state. It then does not mean that all the other political parties, 18 of them, will be deregistered. No. If I have my way, there will be a law that will ban people from moving from one party to the other without leaving their seat. They can leave, they can move, they can defect, they can cross carpet, but once you declare that you are leaving the party that brought you to parliament, you lose your seat.
Many Nigerians have lamented the decline in democracy from inception till date, noting that what democracy used to be is not what it is now, especially in the current administration. They also challenged having one-party system despite the massive defection into the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC).
Some policies that this government has come up with does not really resonate with Nigerians, all right? Most especially the economic policy. Let's take, for instance, the removal of fuel subsidy. That removal of fuel subsidy has really escalated the economic difficulty for most Nigerians, myself inclusive. I want the government to give more platforms to other political parties to thrive, all right? Let us not come to a situation where we have a one-party system in Nigeria, where you see every governor is now trying to become, APC has become the new bride in town, and every governor wants to identify with them.
When you talk about democracy, what we've seen so far in this administration, I can't really say most of the decisions and policies, enablement, enactment, is not in line with the principles of democracy that we were taught in school. You understand? So I can't really say we are really enjoying democracy. What is democracy when the citizens are not enjoying the dividends of democracy? And what we are seeing in this administration is a situation whereby the few elites are really lounging in wealth, affluence, and show of power, and then the masses that voted them in are just wallowing in abject poverty and penury.
Nigeria is not actually in what I will use the term democracy at all when it comes to politics. It's not being maximized, it's not being used here. Democracy is actually supposed to be government of the people, by the people. It's like supposed to be like two-way something, not supposed to like only be one way that the government just wake up, they make decisions to themselves and then go through their decisions without either you oppose it doesn't concern them. You understand? So it's not actually supposed to be like that. So the term democracy is not what we use in Nigeria at all.
I have been killing around for the past 7 years. This year I didn't kill. I don't have money to kill around. The democracy we're clamoring for in Nigeria is unfortunate that we're not getting it. We have a government who serves themselves. You queue in the sun, you queue on the rain, and you vote them, and they get there. They forget about democracy. They only remember the next tenor. They start. As I'm talking to you, what is paramount to this administration is 2027. That's all.
Meanwhile, in a joint session at the National Assembly to mark this year's Democracy Day, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reminded Nigerians that he had kicked against the one-party system in the past and stood as the last man standing. He therefore stated that he was not making any plans to go back on that.
I plead for your indulgence so that I may put a terrible rumor to bed. to those who ring the alarm that the APC is intent on a one-party state, I offer you a most personal promise. While your alarm may be as a result of their panic, it rings an error. At no time in the past, nor any instance in the present, and at no future junction, shall I view the notion of one-party state as good for Nigeria. Look at my political history. I will be the last person to advocate such a scheme. In year 2003, when the then governing party tried to sweep the nation clean of political opposition through plot and manipulation, I was the last progressive governor standing in my region.
As Nigeria marks 26 years of the return of democracy since 1999, the citizens and stakeholders will continue to reflect on both progress and lingering challenges. Furthermore, in spite of President Tinubu's reaffirmation of his opposition to a one-party system, the call for stronger democratic values will continue, particularly leading up to the 2027 general election. In Abuja for True Vision TV, I am Ebere Aniebo.